Me donipa.
Okay.
And socially, I get involved. I put you up Panibi in his 90s. Mkobusa and say, at the end, I'm a watchers and wedding. I said, bro, just keep going.
Okay.
So I'll try certain age. And I'll be down, so my bread. Now I know.
Okay.
And Yamia Doroma, met me a idea. I try to keep going.
It's my question is the one answer. On my review.
So, now me busa so be propose the be imagine.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and here with His Excellency the former President John Kufuor on a delay, and then have an interview. The delay show, so I think that you can go out there and check out the interview. A very interesting interview. Very, points view, especially people who love politics. I've told you, say politics is something that is a wood because politics simply means on my nation, talking about the nation. I quite be fast so I be see your mind, mind no tumpo. A home komo ana a year ora a year Kufuor any delay a twitching. Now I was here, we call a year delay any ora Kufuor common so. And same be could mu I want to do nasi. But before then, I mean, welcome everyone. I worship me, Dr. Ren. If today is your first time, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification button and follow. Let's build a community together, where we share ideas. The comment section is for you. Abuane Kwasia. That is not what I think you want to share. It's up to you. On my know how you bet you also topics are enemy enemy topics no. Share a friend is saying NAIMOS more operations are more the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Honorable Emmanuel Amakofi Buah. Just say crackdown wa no miemu kese pa. It is said the over Britain the way a labor for a miemu on a fight against immigration no. And one sense no. Sanso na okupi mo Ghana the fight against illegal mining. Honorable Emmanuel Amakofi Buah miemu pa. And I'm going to give you a Nyoma ACC a weekend here free and run rich just say a Nyoma air course no. I would say they don't intend to joke. Oma Miomeni said they will do everything to fight against illegal mining. So, Mamima a year what has a year transpired. Na yen share a friend is saying the ACC. So many woka say the NAIMOS tax force arrest 7 illegal miners in raid at Kwabi Brim. As we speak today, NAIMOS akwakochi China phobi ewo Kwabi Brim. Say the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operation Squad, NAIMOS task force has carried out a decisive midnight operation at Esuom in the Kwabi Brim district of the eastern region, leading to the arrest of 7 individuals involved in illegal mining activities. The raid, which occurred at about 1:20 a.m. dawn, midnight, thereabout, midnight. On Saturday, a friend said December 6th, targeted an active Galamsey site hidden within a palm plantation along a stream known as Nukuru. The stream flows directly into the Brim River, a major water source heavily threatened by illegal mining or air pollution. During the soup, the task force arrested 6 Chinese nationals and 1 Ghanaian who were allegedly engaged in active mining along the banks of the stream. Officials say the operation uncovered a well-organized illegal mining setup, complete with what? Excavators, vehicles, and other heavy-duty equipment. So, all machineries found at the site was seized, and every makeshift structure erected to support the illegal mining activity were demolished. So this is the news coming in from Honorable Emmanuel Buah and NAIMOS. This is what happened. Again, share the SSC ewa ha. Or say a friend is saying, NAIMOS, that was Western region, and so Omakwa arrest being so Western region. NAIMOS Korea, also or say NAIMOS dismantle illegal foreign mining network along the Buah River. Eti eno so omonso alcohol a chese omakwa chire enkofo ewo ho a enye asem kuma kra enye bibikito akra, which means the fight against illegal mining there. The Honorable Minister Emmanuel Buah and the NAIMOS and the team and the community no bomba baso munkoswa na mumfa nkunimdie news nemreye. I know it's not easy because when it comes to illegal mining, ofa under another than go Akufo-Addo time. I mean, you all know. I mean, even Al Jazeera News said the president was a gold mafia, which means he was involved in what illegal mining, according to a friend is saying. Al Jazeera. You remember when Nana Bedi, the presidential secretary at the time, issue a letter to Al Jazeera say Ombo Modniana Eja and some of my trafa president also a good mafia no pull the story down. But Al Jazeera MF womo, Omo Koswa the story no to womo page up to now story that's omo page. So it goes to tell you say Al Jazeera they no munyina so say His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, the former president, was involved in Galamsey. So fighting Galamsey no enya idea easy like that. I know some people are proposing shoot and kill. A lot of things are man for proposing, but I think that so far, a new minister did go akwemuno. No. I think he say omo koso no mu miaso, omo miem na omo timinya funding, no mu timi ejina omo na so a. They will fight Galamsey, and gradually, Galamsey will be a friend and say a thing of the past. I because and maybe do now Galamsey affecting nation, but it took the intervention of the honorable minister Emmanuel Buah and then the team NAIMOS, soldier for national security for police for friend is saying one navy. It took them to fight illegal mining. And I'll say it here again. I think I've said it some time ago. Say illegal mining Burkina Faso ne alata for no doso. Foreigners no omodoso illegal mining. And this is where I call on the police service. Say NAIMOS ni omajuma, and then they bring these a friend is saying illegal galamseyers no. And mamun kase yachi omo ye ja omo mwako. Like what happened under Akufo-Addo or Safmafo, Ekachere, Miami Nipa, a friend is a Dr. Slomo who say, China for near prosecutor, my look, oh, you're Ghana in our body with China. The Chinese will not even think about how they will deal with you as so long as you go against their rules and their laws, it's not an excuse they will punish you. So we must also learn to punish foreigners who are engaged in illegal mining. Remember, when they are destroying the water, it means that they are destroying the very existence of the Ghanaian. Water, we all know, according to scientists, 70%, these days, we say 50% of our human body is made up of water. So without water, so we need to protect our environment, we need to protect our lands, we need to ensure that those doing illegal mining, we will fight against them. And that is why we all must support the minister, Honorable Emmanuel Buah, and any team are fighting against illegal mining. This is what I think is in every communities. And I heard some of the chiefs saying they are coming to bring up friends and NGOs, other things it will name and shame. A friend is saying chiefs involved in illegal mining. And I think my platform is there. OTBBA. Let me know and I'll push on to a friend is saying we'll publish it. Na fe mpanyimfo no etia no mo so etu ho anamo. So kudos NAIMOS Ghana for ni be that adano mo de mo semonda you keep fighting to protect us, our land, by air, by sea, by water, to the peril of your lives. We will defend Ghanaians by air, by land, by water, to the peril of their lives. Iti munye jumana munye ho munye ahweye nso. Greetings to now Owens, ladies and gentlemen. And then come on, no baby dino. Efa ye papa a friend no a year Owura Kufuor, the former president of the Republic of Ghana. What the assembly abetuja. And I think say assembly or the abetuja. Every Ghanaian or dog of my Ghana no. And so to be dina no to a young common. Young konkotie yera Owura Kufuor. Na semwa or the ababetuja. Young konkotie no. Ono anenum asem pepepe. Mikacho say a common only delay and have a conversation. Yentino. I think say if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my page for me. Now Raku for the also Kasaboko. Aha, yako akutino ebi.
For the manager COVID-19.
Okay.
But I know actually no. And I never because I'm just a boy. So there's a bond market issues nearby. It's a cathedral. So it's a cuckoo no many idea no nothing anti.
Now, what plans to say in cathedral?
I am consulting.
Okay, but the
no other about the visa.
But what you say about the cathedral? Now, when I say I did here,
the patch up. One more. Which is in the music number them cast privately normally.
Okay.
And from to as the government is as a day. But so what to me see yeah. But it has a public resources normally.
Okay.
And as Kukubu Bangos as judges near the team. And that he has and I did you. And I believe it's a PDS, this way for my man.
Okay.
Until I am brave, but the son of a government, Sabio, Marita, my programmative, Namife, and she saw Nadia Bakusa, Mwase, which I say 2016 landslide, near the winning star election, never power. Now, 2020 election, na tensions in Yamadiaba, and I think about hang parliament here. NDC, but it took just one vote, one seat in parliament to distinguish president when you are majority, but now you reduced majority. Then 4 years later, last year, anyway, which was a Ghana electorate, you cannot take it for granted. Be a lesson to politicians.
So we have been MPP, but near at the party, which we are saying,
okay. At my cat, as my coach, the Rocha, the chairman, the Rocha, from 92 on all kinds of. That we are in a party doesn't mean we are friends. That may not like.
Yo, Webushia, we any ekoti a former president John Kufuor. And someone will kaye the baby beginning in an say Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo amemuno. When hunu ni ye a year the leadership of Nanado, according to His Excellency former President John Kufuor. When hunu ye Ochiremu say Akufo-Addo born home ordinary COVID-19 no. Na mmomuno and you may be the National Cathedral. A year domestic debt exchange program, a year PDS. Sanria man, who say, I'm trying, and koi. Ote President Kufuor Mwase. Ladies and gentlemen, obo PDS, or can PDS asem. And it is what can PDS asem there. Na me a year Papa Ghana, mijinahe. then it means he said, some a chum I call PDS and 7. PDS and 7 are made chum I been a question. Mobeka ye koto about 2024. Owura Akufo ya. Ebeka se yen koto aba ne mabawomia. Because oyobia odimu oyonokwafo. This is what a year Kufuor ka kire yi nyina Ghana for. Ye koto aba. A year exactly a year. And the year last year say ya na eja results na shasia ye boboba. And I was on air Rainbow Radio. A year international UK Rainbow Radio, a year UK 92.4 FM, Rainbow Radio, a year Ghana, and so 87.5 FM. And I was on air. This Kufuor is telling us, he said, PDS and Koye. But the same Kufuor was the one telling Ghanaians to vote for Bawumia. But Bawumia was actively involved in PDS. In fact, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia singularly changed the conditions, condition precedent to the condition subsequent, which is from a bank guarantee to insurance guarantee, and NAIMOS on my Ghana, it led to the cancellation of over 190 million US dollars. This Millennium Challenge, corporation, compact, and Kufuor knew said PDS was a problem. But the same Kufuor told Ghanaians to go and vote for Bawumia, who was actively involved in this PDS canker. This PDS a friend is saying saga. Why is he speaking today? Say Akufo-Addo's leadership no umpe. I keep telling you, say, you won't call for politics is about changing lives. Politics is about, making sure that you improve the lives of every Ghanaian across the 16 regions. You as was said in in fact, it is even enshrined in our constitution. Say, Oman Penini be a better Abama Nibiano, as what she said, Ghana Nibian, Nigie, Onya, what to swear a wookronim, and where your constitution. But here is a former president. Our name said Bawumia was an Azaman. Onim said Bawumia was a 419 man. Onim said Bawumia, then Edi PDS and him, maybe a ensem fata. Emma Ghana shri $190 million. And yet, this same Kufuor was telling us to vote for Bawumia. I think, you see, I respect human beings based on principles. I respect human beings based on their character. Where your words, your actions, and your deeds are always in tandem. And it is all quite in fear. Yes, another was see our yo. Into Nana was subain. Or can would this so was shower yo. Nana knew will be a sebio. Make a distinguished friend is saying, Chief, our good character. On so sons and phone to say. And I was so pissed when Kufuor catch Ghana for say, Young Kotua Bano and Farmer Bawumia. In fact, Emma even Alan Kojo Chrebanting at the time, the movement part, friends, a movement, leader, as a presidential, independent presidential candidate, even came out to say, a big dent on Kufuor's career, opening his mouth to even say, Ghanaians should even go and vote for a friend, Mahmoud Bawumia. And I think, Ora Alan Kojo Chrebanting, no dika, because, I bet told you as a Kufuor said, Nini and PDS and 7. Now, PDS and 7, idea. Omuye day. Ye shri sikapuduo $190 million. Now, the attendant said, Wamu SETI of these so-called PDS in your money, G Ghana for Sika. For 6 good months, they never accounted for monies collected. The people that were involved in the PDS, the rumble in the jungle, and go phobia tea woman would tape would be so No more check what you say, one check percentage. Ghana nyina mu kanea no amanfo bi chew ye ho percentage. Agwa said the others near na egu abontene. It went on under Akufo-Addo. So tiasi. I see Bawumia was one of the identifiable individuals who supervised this particular a friend is saying PDS, a friend is saying Kankan. And yet Kufuor was telling us to vote for Bawumia. And today, Emirene Chemuno, and Wabejina Bekachre said, PDS under Akufo-Addo, na a bon, na a nye, na dia otiasie. It led to the huge loss. Ghana for ye free. Kene ye nyine mukanie, ke won sensem, ka na nke chese ke move on krama. Just see quite expansion a bit minya enyinem kania ne bebree for industries. Anyway, kudos to the new minister, JJ John Jenapo, Oboedwuma. So far, unti dum so bia Oboedwuma. Kwanya offer so away na dwuma. No wonder say the previous government, no ne Emmanuel Buah honorable, and they were the minister for lands and natural resources, na no more Oboedwuma. So you see, no wonder say na alamisi kase na Nadu Danko Akufo-Addo is a mother serpent of corruption. And Akufo-Addo could not, Akufo-Addo, let me put it this way. Akufo-Addo he did it with Bawumia. Bawumia was his vice. We never heard Bawumia resigning. And today, Bawumia is on a platform asking MPP delegates to vote for him to lead the MPP party. I will be very, very surprised if the MPP go out there and vote for Bawumia. In fact, it will confirm what people are saying. Say, a lot of MPP people are mad. I'm telling you. After all, the World Health Organization said Ghana for about 3.5 billion Ghanaians are, insane. They be at the MPP for no Bawumia. Because me, the reason why to even lead a political party like MPP. Akufo Kachram. Akufo said PDS no. Na a bon, na a nye. One of the people I know more can PDS no. A Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Under the instructions, our bomb modia a boka. No come home be. And I've told you. I see. Kufuor obi oye nyatro. MPP Teswano. He was afraid to speak. Sometimes when you ask people, they say, oh, because he belongs to a political party, and when it matters about Ghana, because party is not important and bigger than the mother Ghana. Ghana is what we all want to build. And this is himself Kofobi and your man and send him fatana be cool money fee. Never more mind Ghana no ya quiet here. Why bother? Why keep quiet? Unim say obi atwese kan be kumu maame. O say menene wo anyonkofa bi e wo kuo mu nti fraternity bi mu nti no. Enya hwe. Then you are insane. Enya hwe say, oh chairman na be kumu maame. No, you need to speak up. Na kuvuo wanka we nyina. Have na ene de wo ba beka we nyina. Tizenka joma ama aban na amba nka obeka. Bawumia na wini ya nka obeka. Ka wonka. And I think that is very, very sad. You see, we are building a nation to compete with countries like Germany, France, USA, China, Japan, UK. It is building a nation to compete on the global market with countries like United Kingdom, Australia, Canada. We must be more patriotic than becoming more partisan. And emboye, emfaye nko bebia. Because we will not be able to realize our full potential when we always defend our political party. But I think there's also one thing to learn from what the conversation between Delay and Kufuor. I know, sir, when Delay mentioned the name of Kwame Nkrumah, the facial expression of Kufuor changed. He doesn't like Kwame Nkrumah. I know he doesn't like Kwame Nkrumah because, Prempeh the second, Kwame Nkrumah time and other. And there's so many things on Kwame Nkrumah. And we don't need Kufuor to even like Kwame Nkrumah. We know, say, Nkrumah has a huge name than no Kufuor. I respect Kufuor, but he's not, Obia, old between on Ben Kwame Nkrumah when it comes to achievement and greatness and even the brains. On Ben. Too funny, the facial expression, when the lady said, yeah, can't Ghana for boy, I want to talk Kwame Nkrumah. Yes. Kwame Nkrumah, the in. But I don't know, I don't twinge. One day we'll discuss about that. Now, important thing that we need to learn from Kufuor conversation, and I'm saying this to the NDC people. Already people are complaining, but if we next year no complain about volume no increase. I'm telling NDC for Akufo-Addo Ghana for to Abaman over 1 million number 2 John Mahama. Don't forget. In 2024, Ghana for so did over 1 million and they did 2 a friend is Baumia. Emma John Mahama by. A man for complaining when DC. Especially the grassroots. The grassroots people are complaining. And you guys must take notice of it. 2026, a lot of Ghanaians will start, focusing on the governance of John Mahama. He's doing well. I'm not saying he's not doing well. He's doing well. But you see, when grassroots people start complaining, you must be smart. Appointments be a maye, be. But God willing, next year we'll talk about it because I've told you next year I'm bringing a new program, Dab the Solution. And so if you want to support me and sponsor me and help me, I'm there. You can reach out, OTS, so that you bet me and more richer, so that at least we can bring on board the brains like I used to do before. Bring the likes of Dr. Abu Sakares and the likes of a friend saying Ora, Mr. Domelevu and co, so that they can share the ideas on how we can solve our own problem, the Ghanaian solution to solve the Ghanaian problem. Because the problems, we cause the problems. There's a majority of the problems, we cause it. So we need our own solution to solve our own problem. So next year, 2026, God willing, this is the program, but the solution show. What you say? I have told you, nobody sponsors me. But this time around, for the first time, I am calling people to help out. What you say? Now, it is an advice to the NDC. Do not neglect the people who are supporting you. Abedu Sampempensowe. Don't. And amonsun so ye mamo a friend is a position. Never forget the grassroots people. Never forget. Help. Somebody will say, oh, but it's a Ghanaian government. Yes, it is true, Ghanaian government. But there are some people who are very loyal. You don't understand? His support, and the more you support them, is also equally supporting the Ghanaian, because they are all also Ghanaian. What you say? Almost you Ghana for the Ghanaians now yes support to them. We be NDC for, we be MPP for. But you see, MPP, I see this thing. NDC eba power. The omutai is supporting MPP for nibi. I'm telling you. In 1998, Victor Salome was the one who built Kenneth Ofori-Atta kuntum kununkum. Ai wabe wia isika wedwane akwatena America. In 1998, the same Victor Salome was the one of building people like them Kelly Gadget and Victor Salome. In fact, the Serious Fraud Office report, and I've said this, say crime they say has no expiry date, right? The Serious Fraud Office report in, I think, 2001 or 2002 stated clearly that Ken Ofori-Atta should be arrested. What do you say? For causing financial loss to the state. What do you say? For embezzlement, for thievery. This is what the serious fraud office and the serious fraud office they did assassin and I'm from Yoko, economic and organized crime there in the office no. So if crime has no expiry date there, then it is very, very critical. Say a crime be a befast to be a can of to be free US aba no abede. But I know Kenofurata is not going to come. You know something? Omufra so there's one man who told me. I mean, I called him Godfather, my Godfather, Oshemi. Ochasi. He gives me the news, and all the news he gives me is accurate. He told me, Doc, do you think this guy will come? He's not going to come back. And at the time I said, oh, John Mahama and the oral team will bring him. Don't worry. Oh, Godfather, John Mahama go. Charlie say, but you. They're not going to bring him more. The guy, 7th December, yeah, to Abana, Babanoa, I did see Yanwa. She said, Baumia, China, Baumia, can say, look, John Mahama win him. Look, me say, ladies and gentlemen, now, man, for one more ketemu. Me no can say Esla she's not in Ghana. Ya to a baby yama. Ya swear in a president. Esla Usu Ghana. Only Ghana. Since 7 January. Esla Usu since 7 January thereabout or so. February mo no Ghana. Otilo ejofui. As the guys will say. We gwan. Infantis will tell you. We jane. Ashantis will say. Ibuidua. The enzymes will tell you. What do I say? Aha. Ona na beti se minya mu nkramofo ka che se mu na announce kona kwa announce say Esla us we dwane. Ene obehunu no ano na my friend is in Singapore. Ade be chi no na Morocco, ade be chi no na France. Adani akwantuni mabro. Onim ba bi obewu ada. Bra boni ya mbeboy. Corruption, stealing, thievery. Ene Adani a year friend say, Ankwanoma. Onenam obi manso. Anka, this is the time Uncle Bob Brani ye and relax as a former communication minister. And I'm asking a year friend say, Sam George, Jata. It looks as if you came to power, you've turned a year friend saying you've turned into a sheep rather than a lion. And the Jata has now turned into a Ojang. Because me unu Kenny a GVG sa kesi efa eslo so me hunu me ntehwe sikadie ba say course ye ntehwe Kenny GVG kesi me ntehwe hwe Sam George ye ntehwe huti. What is going on? Ora yente si achinipo ba kumpo akoto prison. The sentence ni pa ba kumpo. What are we waiting for? Look, China Jew so Ghana for no, they will turn against you. Ghanaians will turn against you. I know my people. And Ghana, you know, we are Diana, we are too much, and they will even come and fight you. Oh, said Jawa Sem, Afina obey time, a catch or say, person we know, why Yafina Babe, Ghana for Sano Motier. When they are calling for an action, now action, no one found to wa. Oh, yeah, 419 for us in Misoho. And that is what Akufo-Addo Mukaye. Oh, why you me with this Kaya by Bechinatum? And so why you me, the Busian Mamias will be we. Akufo-Addo was a chief monarch. Obituary ni Babontino. Akufo-Addo was the chief monarch. Our Quatana see because Jinchia. And soon more opposition, no man no kate. Is that how the MDC is going to behave? But I hope 2026 the Ayeko Remono. I mean my abdominal man who are dinner no my will be monitoring. I've told you I'm bringing a new show, The Solution. No bagawaya. I'm here for Ghana. Or just say, we will speak truth. Kopem time a Ghana bay. Or just say, Monso I'm more from me Christmas, Christmas, Brunya, dear Mate. Munya butrema offer. Yes, you. I offer, yes, me offer so for those who are Ghana. A crewman so confused a bomb, so easy. Tia Munya butrema offer. Just here, ye the piano for Benya Bibidiaba. Oh, God. In Chakasian, a year, a friend is saying, Eric and Zigma na Owens over and Eten Hawk me mamu nyina mo akwaba endina melo oba ke enkomo no na yedi no ebusia. So it's very very important say be share sa asem we enso ekwaya ye be fa so a o my Ghana ye be solve a problem. And I think say nyanse ni ba Akufo trim, and I'm hoping say in 2026 no majority of you the NDC people, you need to start building people. Build people. Build people. It's very important. Build people. As you are building Ghana's economy, as you are building roads, as you build human resource as well. What you say? People who will support the party. Under Akufo-Addo, he collapsed the people. He collapsed the indigenous Ghanaians who were supporting the people. Let me tell you one person Akufo-Addo collapsed. The banking cleanup exercise affecting NS Chemist. But NS Chemist gave money to Akufo-Addo, gave pickups. But Akufo-Addo's decision, the banking cleanup exercise, it collapsed a lot of Ghanaian indigenous banks. Sometimes you talk about the Barclays banks, you talk about banks out establishing 18 something. And so still they are functioning. It's because they, at a point in time, they got government interventions, government support. It is here Tikrumna Yanka say indigenous banks. And you see, every country the local banking system. Sikadodo no ewo kuro no mu etimi circulate. Manfo bitimi ko bomu bosia de kwan so embo bosia de establish businesses, startups in your and then the economy ni grow. Now, so if you have a local banks and you come and you collapse it, you collapse them. I mean, it means to say the leadership of Akufo-Addo, just like His Excellency former President J. Kufuor-Addo, now until leadership nas no who so. Na nyo no nkwa. Ye de ye connected. And I told people, now not down Akufo-Addo's governance. Some of us kanya worrying now. It's not everything sometimes we put out there. I'm somebody when it comes to my private matter, I keep it very, very privately. But under Akufo-Addo, 3 good times send the British police 3 good times. And Akufo-Addo, sometimes we shame Akufo-Addo today, then I laugh. Sometimes I just look at them and I just chuckle. I'm like, look at them. You go through. I've been through it under Akufo-Addo. Attacks from Ghana High Commission and it wasn't easy. But we thank God. Say, and there's a new government, a new president. Who cares? And I know the conversation is going. Is it going to third term? Is it going? I am saying, say, look, we should test the law. Law ni bu wa da wa che. Yen test no. You see, today we have a good leader who cares. Today we have a good leader who thinks about Ghana. And say per reforms are. Now that we have a leader who listens, this is where it is very, very important that majority of our laws must be tested. Because who will lead the beer? Onimi nyansa oya asumdwe ni a obre no ho ase a Buah dia. Time we na wo test merebi. Because merebi all one testing time na kwenye obi say Nebukadnezar Akufo-Addo. They would do whatever they like to suit their own agenda. And they did it in 2020 Abattoir. Remember Sancho Kofi Akpafu Lolobi Likpe? They disenfranchised the whole, a friend is saying, constituency. Almost disenfranchised, they couldn't even get a representative to represent them at the Parliament House. And who contributed to it? Ghana, a friend is saying, electoral commission for no commissioners, electoral commission for no can be. And it happened under Akufo-Addo because he was the Nebuchadnezzar. Ono won tiasem, ono won fi, ono ade obubu nuegunasu. This is what happened under Akufo-Addo. So now that we have the Gonja man, the Indeura Japa, great grandchild, grandson, let's test the law. We shouldn't be afraid. We should not be afraid to test the law. The law is a friend is saying created by human beings. So we can test the law at the Supreme Court. Let's seek the interpretation. What does say a case nipa ne be call 2 times no so okono osaba biem na there is a gaba and no ehunu ne saying there no mo kafa ho ma dwenche ne saying ne yensi ni pi sani a wo chene bi no yen konkonya sasabo nsam bi e ma ne be ye a leader a obe yusu eye the gaps na wo mra ni mo no to need advantage and they will come and defend it. I'm telling you, if Akufo-Addo had won in 2020 hugely, massively, and there was a gap of almost 2 million, Akufo-Addo would have loved to go for a third term. I'm telling you. You know, I'm just saying that let's test the law. Whether your mama will go for a third term or not, we should test the law. A test na law is obey timiako. No free say na adwene no free say okay, let me sacrifice. I'm not going to go. Even though the law permits me, I will not go. It's also a fine case. What you say? I don't know. A friends and Sadawa, people will learn from it. Say, maybe even though the Supreme Court interpreted the law, said your mama can go for a third term. No, a buy and your mama say, uncle. You understand? We need to test the law. Ladies and gentlemen, send a winning. I go by the name D Sexy, Dr. Red. If you've not followed my page, kindly do so. And I'm doing Sempano, ABC. Thank you, Ghana. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Make our nation great and strong, bold to defend forever and ever. Amen.